Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Saturday, January 7th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can always find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Saturday in college basketball. First up, it's Southern Utah taking on Abilene Christian. This one's 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. You know, Southern Utah is a team I think is flying under the radar right now. You look at, they played a pretty tough non-conference schedule, ranked 81st in KenPom, and I think the big advantage that they have in this game is the fact that ECU's defense is very, very aggressive, and they take a lot of fouls. That's kind of just the natural side effect of that defense. But Southern Utah does a great job at drawing contact and getting to the free throw line, and they're a good free throw shooting team, ranked 83rd in the nation, shooting 73.9% as a team. A team at Southern Utah, like I said, played a lot tougher teams this season. I really like ACU, Abilene Christian, a team that we usually take quite a bit in conference play because we can find a lot of value with them, but this is just not one of those spots. Give me Southern Utah on the road to win this game outright. Next up, it's Oklahoma and Texas Tech. This one's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern on Big 12 Network. I'm going to continue to fade this Oklahoma team. They're on a 2-game losing streak. I think they make it 3 in this spot. This is only their second true road game of the season. I was not impressed with their performance against Iowa State, even though they only lost that game by 3 points. They were 4.5 point favorites in that game. Not a very good rebounding team. They turned the ball over a ton, and Texas Tech is a very good defense. They're a very good shooting team. They played very well against Kansas in their most recent game. That was a game we took Kansas. We laid the 2.5 points. It got very dicey in that one down the stretch. Only a 3-point win for Kansas in the end, but Texas Tech, I think, is a far better team here. I'm going to lay the points here with the Red Raiders. Next up, we see Oregon and Utah. This one's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern start time on the Pac-12 Network. You know, Oregon's had a disappointing season. There's no doubt about that, but I do think that this matchup benefits them pretty well. And you look at Utah, they've played a really weak non-conference schedule. Oregon played a very tough non-conference schedule. They played Houston, UConn. That's arguably 2 of the top 5 teams in the country right now. They played Michigan State as well, Villanova. And although they didn't fare too well in most of those games, they're a very good rebounding team. They get to the free throw line a ton. And they're also a really solid 2-point field goal offense and defense. You know, Utah's not a defense that I'm looking to back right now because even though in terms of the points per game allowed, they're doing well, it's a team that doesn't really force a lot of turnovers. They've just benefited from their opponents shooting really poorly against them. But like we've seen in the games like against TCU and against BYU, that's not going to always hold up. So yes, you can beat Cal and Stanford and Oregon State, 3 of the weaker Pac-12 opponents, but when you step it up in competition against tougher teams in the conference like Oregon, I don't think you're going to fare too well. Give me Oregon in this spot. I think they pull out the outright win, but we're getting a good amount of points here, so give me the points with the Ducks. Next up, we see Washington State taking on Arizona. This one's going to be 5 o'clock Eastern on the Pac-12 Network. Now, I got to say, Washington State, I think, is way better than its current record at 6-10 overall. They played a pretty tough non-conference schedule, and they're much better than their 1-4 conference record. But this is not a very good matchup at all, in my opinion, for Washington State. I think it's a nightmare matchup, honestly, as Washington State likes to slow things down. They're ranked 328th in average possession length. Arizona, the complete opposite. They're 5th in the country in average possession length. They're number 1 in the nation in adjusted offensive efficiency. They can shoot from basically all over the court. They take care of the ball, but they're a very good offensive rebounding team. They score plenty of points in a hurry. And now you're playing, as Washington State, you're in your second straight true road game after you played on Thursday against Arizona State. You lost that game by 6, so you failed to cover the number in that one. Now you're playing another true road game against an Arizona team that's probably a little frustrated after only beating Washington by 3 points in their most recent game. Did not cover the number, wasn't even close. So I think Arizona wins this game going away. Like I said, I think Washington State is much better than its record. I think we're going to get plenty of value taking Washington State in conference games this year, but this is just not one of them. Give me Arizona laying the points in this one. Next up, we see Rhode Island taking on LaSalle. This one's going to be a 2 o'clock Eastern start time on ESPN+. You know, Rhode Island, I just can't trust them away from home. When you look at their first 3 true road games of the season, They put up 49 points in a loss to Boston College, 66 points in a loss to Georgia State, and 61 points in a loss to Duquesne. So they're 0-3. Their offense is struggling away from home. They're 337th in effective field goal percentage in the country, 249th in adjusted offensive efficiency overall. Really, the only advantage that I see Rhode Island having in this game on the offensive side is their offensive rebounding abilities. And even though LaSalle's been so-so in defensive rebounding, they do still have some size with the Drame brothers. So I think they'll be fine in this game overall. I think they're a very well-coached team with Fran Dunphy, and I think this is a good spot for them to get a conference win after losing to VCU last time out. I just can't trust this Rhode Island team, especially that bad offense away from home. So give me LaSalle in this game on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in college hoops. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.